Welcome to the Bad Tutors podcast. If you're here for the newest, up-to-date, accurate information on the nerdy topics that are near and dear to your heart, well, let me tell you, you ended up in the wrong place. Here we are about hot takes and grandiose displays of misinformation, so stick along for the ride and you might just blow a blood vessel or two. So, Tyler, today is Nintendo and their relationship with RuneScape. Thoughts?
Recently, you have been brought into light about how Nintendo's not always the bad guy, so I'm willing to talk about this.
Okay. Well, that's a shame because we're actually talking about fishing.
Okay.
So I don't know about you, but I don't particularly enjoy fishing. I get no real joy from doing the real world activity of fishing. No relaxation in being out on the water in the blistering hot sun trying to catch food that, to be honest, I don't even want to eat. I don't like fish either. So what is a worse activity for me? And I definitely don't like it for the sport of it. That's gross. So just throw it back. I put in all this effort. I'm not going to throw back the thing that I caught. That's dumb. I don't want to do that.
Actually, as a pale-skinned individual who burns easily in the sun, fishing is still very fun for me, but it's not to the point where it's a hobby. If other people are fishing and they invite me along, I'm 100% in, but it's not. I don't have any rods or anything like that. I don't know how to use a bait caster, so I'm just a filthy casual.
Okay. So you do have more experience in fishing than I do.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say that I'm not for fishing, but I have had many influences in my life that have been very, very into fishing. Both of my grandparents were, and uncles along the family line. A lot of big fishermen in the family, and it was just never something they were able to get me into. And as of course we all know about the plight of boys using trophy fish as their dating profile picture, but as much as that is a digital fish, they never have any virtual fish. Because today we're actually talking about fishing in video games. Now, I need to specify up top, like I do in every goddamn video, I am going to be talking about fishing in video games, not fishing video games.
Right.
You can argue that two of them maybe are fishing video games, but when I say that, I mean the, which one? What is it actually called? Pro Bass Simulator or whatever the big one on Steam is. There's a couple big ones that are very realistic. I'm not gonna say physics based inherently, but actually real world, real life fishing that are just like a sim game basically. I don't know anything about those. I don't like normal fishing. Why would I ever do that? I would only do fun video game fishing. And nothing like that. So I don't have any experience to talk about those. I'm going to assume you don't as well. Feel free to correct me if you've actually played a lot of Bass Simulator.
There was an old PlayStation 2 game that my dad had where you could... Well, it was a fishing game, but you could look at your lure underwater and then the fish would bite and you could set the hook and then you would see the entire... fight between you and the fish underwater.
That's actually pretty.
It was cool.
I like that actually. That's fun.
I think it's funny that a fishing video game is, in my eyes, in my very humble opinion, a reskinned bullet time event from a video game over and over.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So I can see why people enjoy it. Certainly, especially if you're big into fishing.
Yeah, I put all of those with any sports game, realistically. I'm never going to play Madden or FIFA, but if you like football or soccer, I understand why you're going to play that game. Makes sense.
Right. But, yeah, I mean, that's it. Just an old PS2 game.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start off here talking about the game that actually inspired what wanted me to write this video, because in the past I've actually talked about, I mean realistically a number of these games, but two of them very specifically that I'm thinking of, and it's not the one that I'm going to talk about next, because the next game has dog shit fishing, and it's maybe the worst part of the entire game, and that is going to be Monster Hunter Wilds. And realistically, the entire Monster Hunter franchise on whole, it's never had good fishing. Fight me, not you. I think
so crazy.
Think you more or less agree with me?
No, I mean,
no, you don't. You think it's crazy?
It's in Wilds. It's not dog shit. It's just nothing. You have to do it for a couple of side quests, but like it's also not painful at all. And I
found it absolutely infuriating.
Yeah. Did you read any of the dialogue between you and the fisher lady that told you how to catch each fish?
No, I just looked up guides.
That's where the issue
looked up guides that tell you exactly where it is and how to catch them.
Yeah, so you do that, and all you have to do is read the controls that are on the screen, and you catch the fish in like maybe 30 seconds.
If the fish shows up.
And if the fish doesn't show up, you just leave.
I hate it. It was the worst. Bad time overall, in my opinion. So what I'm going to go through for all of these games is I set out to ask myself as a non-fishing person, what makes these things fun? What can I quantify them on? So I have 3 categories for you. They're very simplistic, foolproof, you could even call them.
Okay.
Foolproof and objective. 1, is it necessary? By that I mean necessary to the game. Is it giving you any kind of real, tangible benefit to the overall gameplay loop? 2, is it fun? It should probably be fun if it's in there. I think that it's really weird to put a gameplay element into your game that's not fun, and I understand that the devs could think it's fun, but I don't know, do something more with it. And then 3rd, again, very objective, no room for error. Does it make you feel like a fisherman? That's going to be our 3rd category. So, is it necessary to the game? Is it fun to do? And does it make you feel like a fisherman? All of these, of course, are going to be rated 1 to 10, and I'm not going to tell you any of my ratings. At the end, I'm going to have you guess the order that I have them in. I have them all over on the side of what I rated each of them in order, and I want to see how close you can get to what I think for all of these. Yeah, as you're doing that, so Monster Hunter, we're going to start out. Is it necessary? And I am keeping this more specifically to Monster Hunter Wilds, even though it's more or less the same for all of them. Some of them have had like a different mini game and stuff. Was it for you or Jen that had the Plesioth fishing mini quest? It was one of them.
For you, I think.
For
Maybe
you?
it was even
Yeah.
for you.
And that was your passive AFK fishing method.
Yes.
That you could do instead of the real in-game fishing method, which, unless you disagree with me, I should outline, or unless you disagree with me on how the Monster Hunter Hunt works, I'm going to outline very briefly how the fishing mechanic works in every game, which in Monster Hunter is you throw a line. Technically, you can select your bait in this one. You have a couple options of bait as you unlock them through quests. They theoretically attract different fish. So saith the game. You throw your line out and you watch a bobber, and eventually there's the bobber hit and a small sound. Like, I'm going to be saying that for a lot of fishing games, believe it or not. And then you hit the button to cast and it reels it in. Now, there is an exception in Wilds where there are whopper fish, which are very big fish that you have to like actually engage with mechanics and pull back and forth as they're not struggling and stuff. So there is slightly more than just the very, very generic cast line, wait, plink, pull line. But overall, it's pretty simplistic for Monster Hunter. Oh, and in Wilds, maybe in World, realistically, I don't know, I didn't do it. You have your net that attaches to your oh god, what's it fucking called? Slinger. And you can launch that, and it'll catch all the fish in that area for you. Now, you can't complete the quests like that. You can only complete the quest through fishing them normally with your rod. But if you're just looking to gather a bunch of the fish in Monster Hunter Wilds for some fucking reason, you can just use your net and catch like 8 at once. That is nice if you were looking to gather them. But the fact of that leads into the first question I have of, is it necessary? To which I said, not really. Outside of the quests, technically it can give you money. Like some of the gold, silver, and platinum fish, either they themselves or their scales do sell for like an amount of zenny that is not technically inconsequential, but like also money's pretty fake in Monster Hunter.
That's true.
So it's not super necessary.
They're like half the price of the eggs.
Yeah, so like it's a lot of money. It's truly like it actually is a pretty good sum of money, but then you have to fish.
Yeah,
and that sucks.
And there's no reason to farm zenny at all in the game.
No, not unless you are looking to make like every single piece of gear, which I mean, we have a friend specifically who at the very least wanted to make every single one of his weapon. But like, yeah, I'm sure some people are like, I want to have every weapon in the game, and you're going to need a lot of zenny for that. But outside of that, normal gameplay loop is not going to be super important. Next, is it fun? And to that I said, awful bottom of the barrel of fish that I am shooting into. It's not good.
Okay.
And by that I do kind of mean it's realistically standard, but it pissed me off really bad when I was doing it in Wilds. So, bad. Hated that one. Now, I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think that it makes you feel like a fisherman?
No.
See, I overall agree. I don't think it does, with the exception of when you are hooking a whopper.
That's true. Because the fish actually
I think that when you're
you.
doing that, yeah, you're actually fighting, is going back and forth. You have to, like, actually, to some degree, pay an amount of attention. I think it makes you feel like a little bit of a fisherman. Nothing crazy, especially because the outfit's going to play into it a lot, okay? In this list, that is part of it. The vibe and the outfit matters. So, most of the time in Monster Hunter, you don't look like a fisherman. Maybe that's just my build. Maybe there is a fisherman-looking set in the game.
There's not a fisherman-looking weapon besides the frozen fish.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, overall, Monster Hunter Wilds, just too easy is what I'd say for that one. So Stardew Valley is the next one that I want to go into. Have you played any Stardew Valley? I'm not sure.
Not once.
You have not played it. Okay. So overall, as I'm sure most people know, it is a farming game, but there's definitely fishing in it as well. And I actually think it's one of the two most engaging fishing systems.
Is this the one where
on this list that I have,
where the bar like bounces up and down, and you have to keep your? Am I thinking of the right game?
You are,
okay.
Yes. So when you hook a fish, which is, to be fair, it starts out same way as always, which like you can only do so much around it. Is that you throw a line out and then hit a button when you hook something, but then it pops up this little mini game basically, where you have your bar, there's a fish going up and down a bar, and you have a small green bar that fits inside of it, and you need to keep the fish inside the small green bar. Now, this will, as you level up, get bigger and bigger, and you can put in, like, bait, and from what I understand, like, enchant your fishing rods to make it easier. You can do all this kind of stuff to make it easier, but at its simple level, you just have a little tiny bar, and the fish needs to stay inside of it for a certain amount of time, and then you catch the fish. If the completion bar goes to 0, you lose the fish. At first, it really sucks. It was maybe one of my least favorite when I first started playing Stardew Valley, but then it was like this weird addicting, no, I have to get it right. Like, it's really annoying to like learn how it feels. The bar that you are catching with feels really floaty and off, but in a way that it actually does make you want to keep coming back and doing more of it. And that's good, because technically, depending on what type of playthrough, because you can basically do a good and evil where you're backing the town or some corporation. In Stardew Valley, if you didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to get into it. I don't really know enough of it, but I know that those are the two paths. And the real one is basically siding with the town that you are a part of, and you gather things to fill the community center requests that I'm blanking on the proper name for, but they're all different packs of like 5 different types of summer crops, spring crops. So one of them's just like a million bajillion gold that you have to get over time. But one of them is a whole wing of them is an aquarium, so you have to get different fish. So to complete the game with the good ending, you need to fish. It just in general, in one way or another, you need to do some amount of fishing, and as well in a Harvest Moon style game, just fishing. Yeah, you sell them and you get money for them, and it's good. It's good to have more money in the game in general. So this was pretty necessary, especially if you're trying to like play the game what most people would say is correctly. It's definitely necessary to do. Next, is it fun? I kind of said this already. It's back and forth. I absolutely hated it, but then I just kind of keep doing it, and it does get easier, especially like I said, you level up, and your bar just inherently is longer. I mean, some could say it's too big to start. Honestly, they say the fish don't like it.
I've heard it's massive.
It really hurts the fish when it gets too big, so you do have to be a little bit careful on that one. But it kind of grows on you. But to start, one of my least favorite fishing experiences in games, which goes against just hitting X or A 2 times in a row, one of them slightly delayed. Hated it more than that. And does it make you feel like a fisherman? Now, I think this one is a little bit more so. The drip can be there. The fishing drip can be there. But inherently it's not. And like, you're kind of a goofy little guy or girl, no matter how you cut it. So I don't know if it 100% hits the spot for me. But you do have to know very much like where everything is, when, like specifically what time of day. I know Monster Hunter does have that to some degree as well. But there's the right bait, and it feels like there's a little bit more depth, it's more of a focus where like it's just more depth, where it's just kind of also there in Monster Hunter, even though like I would say objectively there probably is more depth, especially when it comes to like the locale and like probably why those fish are there. There's probably information for that. I don't know if there is in Stardew Valley, other than it's like a Midwesty style town, and they're real fish. So like there might be some degree, but it's also a video game, and like I think you can catch sharks and stuff. Maybe not, but I think there's that kind of level to it as well. So I think this one does make you feel like a fisherman, especially because you're a farmer. You're just taking some time off, relaxing. You're just a little amateur fisherman. You're no master angler, but you're just it's a hobby. It's a hobby for you, and it's a good little pastime.
Okay.
And speaking of sharks, we're gonna go into RuneScape next. Now this, peak of entertainment. Let me tell you.
Sure.
You have to do so many things. You have to have the right type of tool, and then the bait, which is to say you need to have a fly fishing net and a harpoon, and then fly fish, and then feathers. That's it. That's the only thing. Then you need to arrive at a tile in the game. The entire game of RuneScape is broken up into individual tiles. One of those has fish on them. Many of them do, but you need to go to the right one that has the type of fish you're looking for. And then you need to click on that spot. That's it. That's all you do. There isn't even a second click. It's just the one, and then a lot of them in rapid succession when you need to empty your inventory, if I'm being fair. But yeah, that's it. It's easily the least fun fishing in a game, but like fun isn't the point of RuneScape. I think I'm willing to stand by that statement. RuneScape has some fun moments, but fun is not the point of RuneScape. RuneScape is just A slow dopamine drip that will be with us until the day we die.
I think might consume RuneScape different than everybody else that plays it.
No, you're right. I do.
The thing that you call this the slow dopamine drip is everybody else grinding to get to the fun, exciting content. Which I know that you do.
Iron Man.
I know that you do that.
I play Iron Man. My grind takes a lot longer. But speaking of me playing Iron Man, is fishing necessary? Now, there's a couple different arguments to this. In general, it is an amount of necessary. There are quest requirements and things within the game that you will need a fishing level to do. Now, normally, if you're a main account, that level is not very high. I do not know what it caps out at, but I doubt it's higher than like 70 or 80 unless you're talking very end game things. So you don't need to do a ton of it realistically. You can earn an amount of money by pretty AFK if you want to do it, but like it's not something that once you get it to a certain point, it's like, man, I'm really losing out by not doing this. Now, if like me, you're a masochist and you play Iron Man, which means you can't trade with any real players in the game. You can only trade with NPCs within the world, and everything else you have to get on your own. It is 100% non-negotiably necessary. Technically, there are other ways to get your food in the game, but realistically 95% of it is going to be from fish. So it is incredibly necessary if you're an Iron Man account, and then if you're not, it's still like kind of somewhat necessary, but not the most. And then does it make you feel like a fisherman? This is why I said this earlier. I said in general, no, unless you're me, in which case you'd be saying like, oh, fishing's so fucking boring, I hate this. Because I say it in real life and in the game that I love a lot. So, like, that could mesh, but, like, that's not quite what I'm going for. Take that one to the side. Don't put that into your consideration for my scores. I said the activity in general does not, but the outfit, the actual angler outfit, that's good fishing drip. It's, like, purpose-driven for it. It's got some good flair to it. I think that one, it might be one of the top fishing drips in this list.
Okay.
Next is a game that I believe I've talked about on here a couple times. At least once, I'm almost positive, and that is going to be Dave the Diver. I have talked this game up a lot just in my general life. Certainly, this is a game that brought me out of one of my little stints of gaming burnout, I believe last year. And it is this really cozy little 2D technically fishing game where you are a co-owner of a sushi restaurant and you have to go get the fish for it every day. Now, to say that this is a fishing game, we have to agree that harpoon fishing is still fishing.
Yeah, yes.
Which I'd say it counts. It's a different kind. I don't know. There's different opinions on that. I don't
Just because we
Maybe
don't do it in Lake Michigan doesn't mean it's not a form of fishing. And also, people do it in Lake Michigan, so...
I agree. I'm just making sure we're on the same page. But you take that, and at that point, it's a pretty simple kind of like point and click, and just aim your harpoon. A couple fish will take like multiple hits to like kill / catch them, and then there are actually some like boss fish fights that use those mechanics that are also pretty interesting, actually. So is it necessary? 100%. Absolutely it is. Like I said, this one's technically a fishing game. Actually, it'd be an interesting challenge run to see if you could do it without fishing. But in general, yes, you need to fish to actually progress the story in game in any way. It'd be really hard to run a sushi joint with no fish, I would say. It's very much centered around the fish aspect. Is it fun? I think yes. I think this was a great game, and mixing up the kind of standard formula of just wait for a thing to make a noise and then hit a button. It did good. This did a lot of fun things, and there were a lot of like fun, like mythic fish and stuff, and some very interesting boss fights with like giant crabs and giant squids, big ass fucking anglerfish. It was a fun little game that I very much recommend and think that people should play more. And now, does it make you feel like a fisherman? Okay, so if we're talking about the fisherman that I have in my head, which is obviously what my objective, non-negotiable scale is based off of, something very concrete.
Yeah.
I would say, no, it does not. I'd say that this game centered around fishing does not inherently make me feel like a fisherman.
Okay.
I think of a very... Okay, yeah. What you got?
I want to take a guess at the picture of a fisherman in your head. It is either A, an industrial fisher boat with like lobster cages or nets or something like that, where you drive out to your buoys and haul up a fuck ton of fish to go sell. Or it's B, the flat bottom boats that have like a trolling motor in the front, and you do have guys with their long sleeve, sun protected UV shirts on, a baseball cap, glasses, polarized shades with the connector in the back so that they don't fall off your face into the water, and fishing with a rod and some kind of lure.
You are very, very close. It's the second one, but they're wearing full angler.
But they're wearing what?
Full angler from old school rules.
Okay.
Other than that, spot on. That is what I mean when I am saying a fisherman.
Okay.
That just kind of like chilled out, relaxed vibe. You see the sun setting. I don't know if that's actually a good time to fish. As their PS2 era video game cover casting back, that's what I think of as a fisherman.
Okay.
So, Dave the Diver does not make me feel like that. It makes me feel like a cool harpoon fishing diver man, because that's what it's meant to do. But it doesn't give me... If I'm going like, man, I want to fish, I'm not thinking about going to Dave the Diver, because I just don't... It doesn't give me that feeling quite as well. If that makes sense. It inherently doesn't. None of this makes any fucking sense. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I'm trying to get at there.
Sure. So.
Yeah.
When you get the off feeling that you need to do some fishing in video games, something that you don't enjoy doing in real life or video games, you don't turn to the fishing game in your library, because to you, that's more
it's
of
not fishing enough.
A business sim or something like that?
Yeah, a management sim would certainly be an accurate word to describe it.
Okay.
A management sim with 2D shooters. 2D shooter elements.
Perfect.
Again, great game. Really weird to describe it in that fashion, but I'm going to.
Okay.
The next game I believe you also haven't played, and that is Far Cry 5.
No. I've played some Far Cry games, but I don't think 5. 5 is Christian Cult, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah,
again, great game. It's pretty fucking stock standard fishing. You cast a line, you hit a button, bam, fish in your pocket. It's good shit. Is it necessary? So, again, as with a lot of these, probably not realistically. When we did... I'm just finally putting pen to paper on a story that I don't think I've ever told on a recording before. I'm sure you've certainly heard.
I've heard it from you and him.
Yeah. It does make you money, but like money again is not an issue in the Far Cry games. You just go like play the game normally and do the missions. It's not actually normally a big deal, but like it did earn money to do a lot of fishing technically. Now is it fun? Yeah, fuck yeah. If you do it in the one very specific way that I'm about to describe to you, it's incredibly fun. Like, maybe one of the most fun I've had in video games.
Okay.
So, our friend Brum and I, at one point, decided to be very intoxicated and play some Far Cry 5. And we decided, should we go do the missions and play the game? No. let's go fish up and down this one massive river that's in the entire game, is what we thought to ourselves. And we spent the better part of 4 to 6 hours, late into the morning, probably until 3 or 4 in the morning, if not later. I feel like I remember the sun coming up, depending on when we started.
Those are prime fishing hours.
Those are prime fishing hours. That's when they're biting. That's when the fish are nibbling. We just boated down this fucking river, the main river in the game, hitting every single fishing spot, and I think I want to say we broke the game's code. That's not true. I think we found the exact limits of the game's code, because let's say for every fishing node you're at, you can sell or catch, let's say 30 fish. I don't remember the exact number, but it was pretty accurate every goddamn time.
Sure.
And at every fishing spot, or every third fishing spot, let's say, there is a vendor that you can sell all of your fish to. So it makes sense. You hit the spot, you sell your fish. You hit the spot, you sell your fish. We eventually realized that scripted events seemed to keep occurring, of if we were here for this amount of time, is this is my best guess as to what happened. If you're there for 45 seconds, you've caught theoretically X amount of fish. So you'll be going back to the merchant. So it spawns a bear in the woods that is going to try and kill that merchant. And you have to try and kill that bear so you can keep selling your wares. And by wares, I mean your fish. And that would happen consistently at every single stop at about the same interval, to the point where we both were laying down landmines to keep off this horde of bears from attacking the merchant that we were trying to sell our fish to, which led to just the most insane, non-PETA friendly gameplay loop, where we would go and fish this river dry in one location, hearing bears blowing up in the background, go and sell all of our fish. Immediately after, go and skin 6 bears and sell all of the bear hide to this fisherman, or to this merchant that just happened to be at every fucking location. It was an absolutely insane experience. But it was so interesting to see a game just bend and flex in such a weird way that, what is probably a random event for most people that doesn't come up 18 times in 1 hour, or in 6 hours, I suppose. It would just be oh, you're happen to be going by this fishing spot, let me catch a couple, there's a guy right here, I'll sell him. And then, oh my god, a bear just came, that's so weird, I killed the bear, I should get out of here now, this is a bear area. And most people would have probably left it there. Not us. We committed bear genocide that day. And fish genocide as well, probably. It was a wild time.
It's just so funny to me. Because I know the two of you so well.
Yeah.
It's just so on brand that... I'm sorry, I'm trying not...
It's a very Brummanized story.
I'm trying not to lose it as hard as I need to.
Uh-huh.
You guys had this issue where a bear kept showing up. Jesus Christ. And it's because you're fishing way too much. Than way more than anyone ever needs to. And so your solution
anyone actually needs to fish
is to plant landmines in
Well, we couldn't... Tyler, you have to understand, we couldn't take a break from fishing to deal with these bears. They had to be dealt with automatically. That's how it works.
I know that's how it works, which is what makes the story so funny, dude. It's you guys would rather learn where you need to place landmines to anticipate a bear spawn because you're not going to stop fishing.
Correct. Rather than, play the actual game that was, well made for us.
So stupid.
it's very on brand. It really is.
So stupid.
It was a great experience. It was a great time. Next in the lineup, I'm guessing you know this, but I don't know if you do because I only found out through videos. You know that Skyrim has fishing now?
Yeah, it came out in Hearthstone.
Oh, is that when it came out? I thought it was after that it came out.
Hearthfire.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I did not realize it came out with that DLC.
Yeah, so originally you just dive in there and fish it up with your hands like a fucking Viking.
Like a good little Viking would.
And then they gave us, I was going to say colonized technology, but Vikings were definitely colonizers.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, they gave us fishing poles, and yeah, it's needed for alchemy.
Is it?
And food. And the way that I played Skyrim, I very rarely would play on the hardest difficulty. I always just went the second hardest because I didn't want to get my ass kicked by my comfy, cozy little Skyrim game.
Sure.
And two, unless I was specifically making an effort into using alchemy, I never touched that system.
I not only didn't know it existed, I didn't know it had anything to do with the alchemy system either.
Yeah, there were some fish that were used in alchemical ingredients, or as in alchemical ingredients.
Oh, right. And if
then,
you can catch those more consistently, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then
okay,
like fish eggs as well were used, but like also slaughterfish, which were the only fish enemy in the game, where you like have to go in there with a sword or something and kill it. Those were used in alchemy, but it's like not the ones that you care about. I feel like if you're doing an alchemy build, it's to just make a ridiculous like paralysis 4-minute potion or something like that.
Yeah, if you're doing some alchemy bullshit, it's just like it's implied that you're breaking the game anyways.
Yeah, because it was completely unbalanced and it was very breakable. Have you ever seen the people that do the enchantment alchemy loop?
Yeah, of course. Yep. I've never actually done it myself, but
there's no reason to.
Yeah, exactly. That's like I watch a lot of challenge run content, or I used to. I don't watch as much anymore. But anything with Skyrim is just like, can you beat it with this? And it's like, I mean, so we're not talking about the alchemy loop because the answer just becomes yes to literally everything, to the point where if I see like a new content creator coming out and doing that, then I'm like, oh yeah, I already knew that you could do that one. That's It has 70 billion extra damage. Its stack overflowed and crashed the game.
Right.
That's not as fun anymore. That becomes immediately not as fun. But sticking with challenge runs of it, I said for the fun factor of it, because I've never actually used it.
Sorry,
yeah.
we skipped the do you feel like a fisher in Far Cry? So I just need to ask you, at what point...
Oh, we did, you're right.
At what number of landmine placed did you feel like a master angler?
I'd say about 13.
Okay.
Once you bring down your 13th grizzly with a claymore, you really feel like you know the waters.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point you are the apex fisher.
Yeah, exactly. The bears don't get any say in the fish anymore. They listen to me now.
Alright, so I'll just put a 20 out of 10
that is the answer to do you feel like a fisherman for Far Cry 5. Thank you for bringing that one up.
You're welcome.
Back on Skyrim, I haven't done the. From what I've seen, it looks like fishing is exactly like fucking every other like stock standard fishing game. From what I was able to see, again, haven't done it personally.
Yeah,
but
never have.
So I'm going to go ahead and assume that the fun is not super high, but the one thing that does make it kind of fun that I was mentioning that I watched before is the challenge run video. Can I beat Skyrim with only items that I have fished?
Oh,
Yes, you can.
I saw that. Because
I believe that one's a Nurbit video.
Yeah, you can start fishing up like rings and stuff like that, right?
Not much, but you can fish up some things.
Yeah.
I think like boots, like an axe, a helmet. Very limited. It's very, very limited.
Well, there are specific items that you can fish up. Have like special properties, and they're terrible. Yeah, but they're better than like the iron hand axe that you can fish up too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, one of my favorite challenge runners, Nurbit, has done 2 videos that are technically fishing. One of them is Can You Beat Skyrim with Only Fishing Loot, which is the one that I mentioned. And then he also technically did one called Can You Beat Skyrim as Big the Cat, the Sonic character. In brackets, can you beat Skyrim with only a fishing rod? So does that contribute to the overall funness of Skyrim having fishing? It's up for you to decide if you think that matters to me or not. And then, does it make you feel like a fisherman? I actually think this one does. I think that the game is scenic enough, and especially if you're just kind of sitting there, if you're sitting there looking at a river overlooking a waterfall, seeing the mountains up in the distance, that is the fishing dream. I think that actually is, I think that one probably makes you feel like a fisherman quite a good bit. That, and you can fish up a lot of junk, which if anything makes it too realistic. We're playing these games for escapism. Get the fuck out of here with the trash that I'm getting out of this scenic Nordic lake.
Yeah, I don't want fish pollution.
No, I don't want. What do you want me to help clear the environment? Get the fuck out of here. No, that's not. That's for there's other games about that, not Skyrim. It's okay. Next is the only other actual fishing game on this list that I again believe I have talked about on this podcast. Not 100% sure at this point. We've been doing this for a minute. I thought so, yeah. And that is going to be Dredge, the Cthulhu-themed fishing game. It's another one of, or it's kind of the only other one that has mixed up the formula in any like really notable way. That in Stardew Valley. When you go over a fishing spot, you interact with it, and to begin to fish, you get like this little rhythm mini game where a dot is going around a circle, and you have to hit it in different. You have to hit it on the green, so it's like a whole red circle with a couple green patches, or it's 2 crescents and they're going down at the same time. There's like, depending on the difficulty of fish, there's like different little rhythm mini games that you have to hit, and if you mess up, obviously they get released, and if you're successful, you catch a fish. And then it has this whole like inventory storage system that is fun. I like it. I like a good inventory management game, but not the point of what I'm talking about here. But it's kind of cool actually that there is like a fishing thing that isn't just press a button and wait, and they have like crab cages that you can like wait a day and come back, and then you get rewards from those and all that kind of stuff. You're this like third person ship basically, that you're the captain, and you're catching all of these fish for very different Cthulhu-esque reasons. Some of them get really fucking creepy, but it's cool. It's a very good game. And again, is it necessary to fish in this game? Yeah, 100%. This is a fishing game at its core. All of the like main quest turn-ins are like, get these 3 fish for me, give me 4 special fish, or like go interact with this fish over here. All of the side objectives are get all of this different fish. So unless there's some hidden speedrun strat or exploit or some dumb shit like that, yeah, you need to fish in this game. Super important. And like I said, I think the having a mix-up to the system is really cool. I thought it was pretty fun based off of that. And then you kind of, like, know what fish you're going to get. Like, if I recall correctly, if it's, like, in the style of, say, a bass, but it'll be, like, slightly different, you know that that's, like, a higher quality one or, like, a special one. So they had, like, all these little interesting indications to be, like, you're going to get a good thing, or, like, get the fuck out of here, it's almost done. They did a very good job with it, which is good because, again, it's a fishing game, so they should probably have the main mechanic of that be correct.
Yeah.
Now does this one make you feel like a fisherman? I had them in a different order at first. I'm kind of in the same boat, pun absolutely intended, with Dave the Diver, where it's a little creepy. It's much creepier than Dave the Diver, but it's kind of like this little creepy, overcast Cthulhu setting, and like, yeah, you feel like a fisherman, but I think that it makes you feel in the same way that we were talking about fishing in games, not fishing games. This makes me feel like the captain of a fishing ship rather than the fisherman. It feels like I'm doing things on more of a macro level than like the actual micro fishing level based on how it's set up. So it doesn't maybe necessarily make me feel like a fisherman very directly, but overall I think it gives enough of that vibe, I would certainly say.
Yeah, I think
so that's another good one that I can recommend for a fishing in video games.
I think it's funny. Based on what you said, I've been giving everything a 1 through 10 score out of these categories, right?
Correct. That is what I have done to all of these as well. Yeah.
I think it's going to be close between a couple of these non-fishing games and the games that are core fishing games.
Mm. Yeah, there's a bit of a disparity. I won't lie to you. Necessity in it, being one of the points, changed things a lot. I definitely thought of that when I was going through it, and I went, yeah, but like it has to be there. That has to be one of the categories. Only a couple left. The next one I have is Minecraft. Now, we've all done some classic fishing in Minecraft, and it is exactly the same as fishing in every other game, except it does a cute little bob, and then it has a pretty distinct sound when you do it. Is it necessary?
Nope.
I say no. The only time it is, I would say it's necessary is for, again, like challenge run style things. Like, for instance, you're doing like a sky block or some like very specific mod pack or something. Then it could probably be necessary, but even then, not like super necessary, except for like one. There was one mod pack that I played in high school that it was pretty key to, but like in general, it's not really a necessary thing to fish in Minecraft unless some crazy shit has happened with the updates, which at this point, I don't know, it's possible, but like from when I was playing Minecraft back in the day, very unnecessary to fish, and it kind of feels like it's probably still not. They didn't bring it up in the Minecraft movie, so I assume that it's not important. That's Jack Black gives me all my Minecraft information, so it seems unimportant to me. Is it fun? I said it's as fun as any other basic ass fishing mechanic.
Okay.
So whatever you've been rating those at, I'd put it right there as well. Now, does this one make me feel like a fisherman?
I'm interested.
I say yes. I say that the long contemplative sessions, if you choose to engage in them, are going to make you feel like a fisherman. I think, especially if you get some decent lighting and the music coming up, any of the Minecraft music coming up as a day dawns and you're out there fishing and you hear that kick in and you're just meditatively sitting there catching some useless items because why are you fishing in Minecraft? But if you're doing it, I think you feel like a fisherman, especially if you're in a boat.
You're in a boat and you fish for an entire day-night cycle, and so you have zombies bobbing in the water next to you. Very fisherman.
I mean, what is a zombie as compared to a grizzly bear? You know what I mean? Just set up some explosives. You'll be fine.
I just...
How are you going to argue with that point? You can't. You can't argue that point. I'm correct.
I just want to point out that the game where
zombies is bears
to engage with the game, Dredge.
Yeah.
You said you don't feel like a fisher because there's too much Cthulhu overcast.
Yeah.
You have dudes with 4 legs that will walk up to you and explode themselves.
Yeah. Well, not on the water.
And bobbing
it's okay.
on the water with you as you fish.
Well, if you think about it enough, and also so little, you just think they're other people's fishing bobbers.
Oh, okay.
Have you considered this? I bet so you haven't considered that.
This is at the point of a Minecraft playthrough where you have lost all will to do any sort of progression and anything because you spent 16 hours building your house and you have nothing to put in it. I see what you're at.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So on to the last two.
Yeah.
The next one we have is Animal Crossing. This again, like, you know, technically I could be referring to New Horizons, but like, even more so than Monster Hunter, it is literally exactly the fucking same in absolutely every single game. Like, the only thing that may have changed in recent games is New Horizons has fishing bait. And I simply do not know if that has been in older games. It very well could have been. I've played the older games. I just can't remember because I didn't do a lot of fishing in the older games. The last one for the DS and New Horizons are the only ones that I put like a significant amount of time into, though. Other than being a very young child. It is pretty much your stock standard fishing mechanic. Throw your line, see it bob. But it goes like half a step to 3/4 of a step further where you can see the silhouette of your fish that you're going to catch. So you can't just like throw it out anywhere in the world. You actually have to like physically see a fish, and depending on what size the fish is or what alternate attributes the silhouette has, it's going to be different in it. So like the smallest silhouette could be like, let's say, I don't know the real number offhand, but like it has a possibility of being 10 different fish if it's the daytime in the winter. And you know it's going to be one of those ones. So if you don't need any of those 10 fish, you can just not catch that one. You can move on. Or like sometimes it has a dorsal fin, and that means it's a shark. It literally has like a shark fin poking out of the water, and like it has like, you know, a couple of very small cool things with that. I think squids might have their own. Might be wrong about that. I haven't played in a while. But so like there's, you know, is that a whole new mechanic that revolutionizes fishing? Like, no, but it's ever so slightly more than cast your line, bob, bite, pull it back. It's a little bit more. Now, it is pretty necessary as well. You're either going to sell them for money or you're going to fill up your aquarium, which I think is realistically the goal of most players, that they want to be like actually contributing to your island if you're playing Animal Crossing and like filling up your museum. That seems to certainly be the collective thought that I've always seen online of like, you know, you want to be building that progression. So it's pretty necessary, I think most players would say. And I do think it's theoretically fun, just because I think Animal Crossing is cute, but it has diminishing returns. Because the 50th time I catch a fish and do a little dance and have to spam through the lines, I caught a dab! Not bad! I caught a sea bass! No, wait! It's a C+ at least. Every single time, because it's Animal Crossing and there's no quality of life because that game was not built for gamers. And I don't mean that derogatorily. Like, I've had some actual very interesting conversation with a coworker about that. That game is not built for quality of life. That game is not built for dumbass hardcore gamers like me, and that feels dirty saying those words, but like in terms of a Nintendo game, it is not built with people that play games all the time in mind. The things that I think of as an issue are not an issue to 95% of people. So like, yeah, I think it's fun enough, and the jokes are pretty cute the first couple times you see them, and the 100th time you see them, they're not cute anymore. Just let me put this 200-pound swordfish in my jeans now, please. I don't need you commenting on how sharp he is. Now, based on what I've been saying for the other games,
yeah, let's hear it.
I don't think that Animal Crossing makes you feel like a fisherman.
I'm losing it over here, dude. This can't play.
I think that even with a very large enough variety of fish that it would make any angler want to swim upstream to meet you, I don't think that any other part of the game really makes you feel like you're getting your hands dirty and really working to reel in something special. I don't think it gives you the same vibe as anything else. I don't think it's quite there to consider it myself to feel like a fisherman while I'm out there doing it.
Yeah, but RuneScape does, because you have the angler fit, and we all know that
it matters.
That outfit doesn't come into Animal Crossing at all.
No, there's no fishing outfits in Animal Crossing in any of them for sure. I definitely did my prerequisite research on that.
Wait, before we move on to the next game.
Yeah.
You made a comment right at the top of the video?
Yeah.
The pod. About guys posting their trophy catches on their dating profiles. I think they'd see a lot more success if they posted screenshots from Animal Crossing of them fishing.
I think you're unironically correct. I think that would do better for a lot of women. Like, viewing the profile of like, oh shit, he plays Animal Crossing? Maybe he's in therapy, actually. So, the last one to go into here is Pokemon.
Such a good include on this list.
Isn't it? Yeah. I thought this was a fun one to throw in. Again, it's a very stock standard one, but it has, I'd say, a recognizable sound when that ding hits and you reel it in. I think there's a little something there, but like it's literally just a sound. I can't give it credit for being for having good sound design. That's a different video that I'm not qualified to write. Is it necessary? Now I'm curious what you think on this, because I would say, is it necessary? No.
I disagree.
Now, I think it depends on what Pokemon you like, for one. And is it beneficial? Absolutely. It's definitely beneficial. I think Gyarados is, at least casually, like one of the best Pokemon that is like the easiest to just get. Because Magikarp are everywhere. Level 20 isn't a high bar. Like, it's definitely beneficial to do fishing. I don't think it's, unless I'm like, blanking on a couple like plot points from the game. I don't believe it's necessary.
There's no like progress halting that happens because you don't fish, but I think you're forgetting that a lot of people, when they play Pokemon, go for 100% dex.
They do.
Or
they certainly do.
They try and catch the new Pokemon that are new to the generation. I remember
fishing has traditionally been useful for shiny hunting as well, at least in the past few generations.
Yeah. Like in Sun and Moon, there was I can't think of the name of the Pokemon. I'm so sorry. But you basically had to fish up a Corsola and then have it call for backup, which was a unique mechanic to a wild Pokemon.
I remember. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The little reverse coral boy.
Yeah, it's like a
Marini.
Yes, it's the defensive water poison. Yeah, Marini. Yep. Mm-hmm. And that was a terrible Pokemon to use in the game because it's a Pokemon game where there's no challenge in the base game, where defense really matters. And maybe we can argue on that, but I think you're in agreement that You just get a guy with high speed and a high attack stat.
I mean, you're correct to say that the games are like, I'd even maybe argue meant to be played that way.
Yeah.
I will say that in the Ruby and Sapphire reboots, I did play through most of the game with a stall setup, but that was just because I wonder traded into a Shieldon, which Bastiodon has now become one of my favorite Pokemon. Had that not happened, yeah, you're right. I would have had whatever boy that I found first that was cool and fast and did a lot of damage, but because I happened to do that, like, you can play defensively. I was rolling on him with, fucking toxic scum fucking setups on that going against like Elite Four and stuff, but that was basically self-imposed difficulty. You're definitely right. That's not something that's like you don't need it, but that was a cool Pokemon. I did like Marini.
Yeah, so I think necessity is just yes, flat out. Like, there's too many aspects of the way that people play Pokemon to say that it's not necessary, and like just because there are some Pokemon that are locked behind fishing, where you can only fish them up, like Feebas, to get them Hylotech.
I mean, I was gonna say there's technically 4 legendaries locked behind fishing.
Yeah, that's like
all of the Reggies are technically locked behind one fish.
Oh, you talking about Relican?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think you get that.
Needed him to get the Reggies.
I think you get that from a dive, actually. Not from fishing.
Not inherently. He's that's the, or is it Feebas that is in 15?
That's Feebas.
Hyper specific.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Feebas that's that way?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. You're right then. Okay. Well, in that case, the legendaries are locked behind fish, but not fishing. Fair enough. I always think that it's Relican.
Yeah. Fish in video games is our next episode.
Yeah, we're just expanding ever so slowly. Now, is it fun? I, again, put this at the same level for all of them that are throw a line, hit a button. However, I do think that fishing on the back of a surfing Pokemon is inherently pretty funny.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will.
Okay.
Now, does it make you feel like a fisherman? I think no. I think that the emphasis of Pokemon on it, I think that you're too young and you're just fucking around and your Pokemon help you out. I don't think I feel like a fisherman doing it, no matter what rod I'm using.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
You play Fire Red and Leaf Green?
I don't believe I've beaten them, to be honest.
Okay, do you know the male sprite in the game, though? The male character sprite?
Not offhand, but like I'm sure I do.
The little red baseball cap.
Yeah.
Okay. That sprite and the
is literally
Fisher
the
trainer.
Yeah.
It's
fair.
It's so close. It's so similar.
Uh-huh.
That it's got to earn at least 2 points on top of whatever you had.
I mean, I'll give you that tracks and that makes a lot of sense, but my numbers have already been set. I do agree with you. I do agree with the statement you just made, though, if that helps.
Okay.
And that's all of them. I have one secret bonus one, but we're gonna get your ratings first.
Okay, I want to try and do this in order. I have all mine in order.
Yeah. With mine, which way are you going?
I'm gonna go from bottom to top.
Okay, that's what mine are listed in. Actually, perfect.
All right.
So, what do you think that my least, the worst fishing game on this list is?
Minecraft.
No.
Okay.
I had the lowest one. Here, let me ask you this: do you want to go through?
Let me just go through
your whole list first. Okay. Here, let me type it in the background so I can have them directly next to compare them. Okay.
So
you had Minecraft, then.
Minecraft is the worst, sitting at a total of 6.
Okay.
Monster Hunter is the second worst, sitting at a total of 7.
Okay.
Skyrim is next with a total of 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I have OSRS with a hot 11. Bit of a jump there.
And that is, it's a 2-point jump, okay.
After OSRS, Animal Crossing with 16.
Oh, big jump there. Okay, so you think that after Animal Crossing, these are all going to be bigger numbers? I mean, I guess that's only halfway if we're being real, but still.
Yeah. So after Animal Crossing at 16, I have Stardew at 20 total.
Okay.
Then I have a tie between Far Cry 5, which has a 21. The 1 coming from necessity, and then 10 in fun and feeling like a fisherman.
Yeah.
And it's tied with Pokemon, and it's simply because I did not take anything that you said into consideration for Pokemon, because I disagreed with everything that you said.
You disagreed so heavily that you went, no, I'm not going to allow this to happen. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Second place, we have Dredge with 25, and first we have Dave Fisher with 26.
So, you got some things very close, some things accurate, couple things you got dead wrong.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read my list in order as well, and then you can ask questions as we're going or once it's done. You take your pick, obviously.
Okay.
So at the bottom, we started off with Pokemon.
Yeah. Big disagree, but that's fine.
At a 2.
At a 2? There's 3 categories. I put that one at a 2.
There is 3 categories.
1
I gave necessity a 0.
Oh my god.
I said I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary to fish.
Kill me. Okay.
Next, you were actually spot on. I had Wilds at a 7.
Okay.
That was actually dead on. I was surprised with that one. You also got the next one, RuneScape, accurate with a 10. Skyrim was not below it, but both of those guesses are dead on.
Okay.
I had Minecraft at an 11. I think I rated the fisherman aspect of it higher than you thought I did.
That's so dumb to me. But all right.
That one is actually tied with Skyrim as well,
okay.
Which makes sense because I valued them about the same. Okay. I think there. The next up was was Stardew at 13 points. That one, what actually carried that one? I had that one actually pretty high up on Fisherman as well. And I put the fun very low on that one.
Okay, wait. No, I have to stop you.
Uh-huh.
You said to do the good run of the game, you have to fish.
Correct.
Is that not a necessity 10? Because there's 2 options. You could be a good guy or a bad guy.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
I have that one's necessity at a 6. That and it's not, and the other reason I have that at a lower necessity is because there are so many other aspects of the game as well.
Okay.
Like that is a smaller part.
Wait, what did you have necessity for OSRS? Because if it's not 1, then I'm driving across the state to punch you in the nuts.
I had it at either a 6 or a 10.
Oh my god.
Because it's required for quests, and then if it's a 10... However, all of my final ratings, if I had any variable in it, like 6 to 10, it's taken off of the 6. Okay. It's taken off of the lowest possible rating it could have been by my scale.
Okay.
Because you still need it for quests, and quests are very important to be able to have access to all of your content.
Yeah, but when you're thinking about all the other content available, because there's so much more to do in Stardew than there is fishing, would you say...
Yeah, they're both rated at a 6.
Okay. Losing it. Okay. What's after starter?
After starter was Animal Crossing at a 15.
Okay.
Which you were pretty close to that one. You said 16 on there, but that one's pretty close. Far Cry was at an 18 for me. You said, did you actually do 20 for? No, you said 10 for fun and Fisherman on that one.
Yeah.
I did not put as much as everything in me. Trust me, wanted to put Feel Like a Fisherman all the way at the top because of how funny that story is. I did not actually end up putting that all the way at 10.
Okay.
Fun was at 10 out of 10 though, but I couldn't truly justify it in my objective, no questions asked scale.
Of course.
And next, you were really close. I had Dave the Diver at 24 and Dredge at 25. So you were correct that the two games about fishing were actually right at the fucking top. Shocker of all shockers. The games that focus on it to some degree did it a little better than the others. You had the numbers just slightly backwards, though. And I had those at 24 and 25 instead of 25 and 26. And then the last little bonus fishing game I have, you're actually going to score this one and see where it fits in to the ranking, not me. I'm going to give you my breakdown of what I think, and then you can tell me.
Have I played this game?
Yeah, you were actually just a part of it, because the game that we were just playing was this episode. Because how this fishing game worked is that I kept throwing out bait of inflammatory statements.
Oh, I heard that.
For Tyler to bite at about the games that we play to try and cause a reaction, which in this case would be getting you onto my hook. So is this necessary? I would say, yeah, it is the premise of the whole podcast. It's the premise of everything that we do here is throwing out inflammatory statements to get a rise out of each other. So I'd say that one's certainly pretty necessary. For fun, I would say for one of us, yeah. I think for one of the two people in this call, it was great. It was super fun. I can't speak for both of us, but I think one of us had a great time with it. And does it make me feel like a fisherman? And Tyler, I feel like Captain Ahab on the high seas, sea foam spraying in my face, looking for my white whale right now, if that gives you any indication.
Sure.
So where would you rate
this like episode? Okay.
Sounds like a straight 30. There we go.
Listen. You said some pretty crazy things about some of the games, and I corrected you on most of the ones that I've played, but I also haven't played all of these games.
And I will fully admit, is my Pokemon score should be higher.
You just
based on what you said.
You just don't know what you think a fisherman feels like.
Yeah, I don't like fishing. Why would I know what they feel like?
Yeah, so the biggest issue that I have in this whole thing
is that I maybe don't know what I'm talking about.
No, it's just that one category. It had no
real bearing on any of it.
You could go in one direction and then turn around and for the completely different game. Like I said with
I feel
Dredge
like I kept my internal logics very
Dredge
similar.
Was this fishing game makes me feel too much like a Cthulhu guy. There's too much Cthulhu overshadowing the fishing, so I don't feel as much like a fisherman as I would in, say, Minecraft.
Yeah.
Kill me.
See, now, was my internal logic inherently flawed based on the premise of that category? Yes, for sure it was. But I do genuinely think that in my flawed internal logic, I do think I kept it consistent.
What does the drip look like in Dredge?
Well, you never get to see yourself. That's the thing. You only get to customize your ship.
Oh, your fishing boat?
Yeah.
Customizing the fishing boat does make you feel like a fisherman?
No.
Not in the same way that the Master Angler set from OSRS makes you feel.
All right, so look at the ship.
Yeah.
Look at the ship.
Wow, that's a fishing boat. Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, here's a slightly more upgraded version. But yeah, which one makes you feel more like a fisherman?
Oh my god. End it, dude. End the episode.
Oh god.
The Master Angler Fit does not capture fishing in a way that this fucking fisher boat does at all.
Dude, look at the buckles. Yes, it does. The buckles and the fucking lure on the hat. That's the most fisherman outfit I've ever seen in my life, dude.
When I pickpocket members of Ham and get polished buttons, I don't feel like I'm working a sewing machine. Just because there's buckles on a little vest does not
you would do that on the loom, not at Ham members.
Oh my god.
So we hope you enjoyed this little this little fever dream that I
just
have
ended. No outro.
Upon Tyler.
No outro. You're Ian. I'm Tyler.
We know what it's about. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend, day, whatever you happen to be listening to this. And we'll see in about 2 hours if Tyler did decide to drive over here and punch me for these takes.